Visit forkpitch.com for curated content in a culinary marketplace.
Hi, I'm Chef Joe V, and today I'm going to be making ceviche. Ceviche is a raw seafood dish traditional to South America. Normally what they do is they take lime juice or a similar acid and use it to cure the fish or their seafood. In this case, we're going to be using shrimp today. And make it safe to eat, much like how cooking does for other meats or fish products. But instead of having to cook it by bringing up the temperature, the acid kills the bacteria that would make you sick, and it makes it safe to eat and consume raw. For today's ceviche, I'm going to be using a couple different ingredients. The main one I'm going to be using is shrimp here. This is frozen shrimp with no sodium tripolyphosphate. The reason I bring that up is because, and I talk about this frequently, is because I'm allergic to sodium tripolyphosphate, or STP, and it shows up in a lot of raw seafood. So I'm very excited whenever I can find seafood that doesn't have STP. I'm using limes for curing, some salt, and then an assortment of ingredients over here. The ingredients over here include green bell peppers, some very thinly shaved white onions, tomatoes, grape tomatoes in this case, just sliced in half, some minced garlic, more like diced garlic if we're being honest, some poblano peppers, farmer's market corn, avocado, mango, and then two types of jalapenos. One is a green one is a red one. The red one is just less mature, so it is a little less spicy or piquant, but they're going to add a nice little bit of heat, but not overwhelm the dish with heat. One of the nice things about ceviche is that everyone makes it differently, and it's just a great template to use a bunch of different ingredients in ways, and ingredients that normally wouldn't interact with each other. I've seen a lot of fruit used in ceviche. I've seen stuff like cactus, like jicama, hibiscus. I've seen people do it even with eggs before, and it's all really, really delicious. The only real unusual ingredient for this ceviche I'm going to be using is mango. Mango adds a little bit of sweetness, so you get this awesome, sweet, spicy, acidic triangle coming from the jalapeno, coming from the lime, and it really just brightens the dish and makes it a pleasure to eat. The other unusual thing I'm going to be doing with the ceviche is I'm going to actually leave the shrimp whole. Generally, when people make ceviche, they like to dice, cut up the fish, cut up the shrimp, make it smaller. I really like how big and plump and nice these shrimp look, so I don't really want to touch them too much. That means they're going to take a little longer to cure than my normal ceviche recipe, but I think it'll be worth it for that wonderful bite in the end. As for the actual assembly of ceviche, it's a lot of night work, it's a lot of prep work. The actual doing things is a little less so. So I'm going to take these shrimp and I'm going to just put them right at the bottom of the bowl. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want them to be covered with lime juice individually to make sure that they all cure. And I'm going to make sure that the flesh is all touching the bottom so that when the liquid does go in, it will stick at the bottom. And then other than that, it's kind of just throw everything in. So these are the jalapenos, and then I'm going to put the mangoes in. The avocados, corn, tomatoes, onions. Doesn't really matter the order. They're all going to be covered with lime juice in the end and tossed pretty lightly. And the lime juice solution is really what's going to make the dish harmonize. And all of these, since they're cut, are going to leach their unique flavors out into the dish as well. These are bell peppers. And then for the white onions here, I actually made sure that I did them super thinly sliced with my knife. And that's just because you don't really want to bite into a full onion, so I wanted something that's just a little bit translucent, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. This is the part that really gives ceviche its notoriety for being very labor-intensive and difficult. It's really not, but juicing of the limes takes a long time, and it can be very time-consuming if you don't have the right tool. I have a juice press because I love lime juice. And when it comes to ceviche, like when my grandfather would make it, he would actually do this entire process, cover all the shrimp, all the seafood, everything with lime juice, and then he would drain it off and then do it again. So he had to juice double the amount of limes. Well, ceviche is delicious. I don't think you need to do it twice. And so I'm just gonna be doing a one-time here, just getting all the juice out of these and letting it marinate for a little while. Also gonna add some salt. Salt works in similar to the lime juice. It's going to add flavor, and it's also going to help with the curing and making sure everything is going to be safe to eat. This bowl contains all the lime juice from those limes I was cutting up earlier. We're going to add in a generous pinch of salt or two, and then I'm just going to take a spoon and I'm going to mix them together. And so the reason I left the shrimp at the bottom of the bowl in the initial point is I want the lime juice to be touching all sides of the shrimp so it cures. It'll infuse, it'll get flavor, but I'm not worried about these vegetables being safe to eat. I'm really worried about these shrimp being submerged. So although I'm agitating it and making sure there's some veg going to the bottom, I'm just really making sure that the shrimp is going to be taken care of the entire time and making sure it's in that lime juice so it'll be good to go. This will probably cure for about 3 to 4 hours, maybe a little bit longer. And as you can see, it's starting to turn already just on contact with the lime juice, that color, that pinkish color, and you're gonna want the entire shrimp to be pinkish before you eat it. That indicates that it's been in the lime juice long enough and it's gonna look good to go and ready to eat. Ceviche is cured, looks delicious in this bowl. If you wanna take a look at it. So it's going to be deliciously sweet, deliciously spicy, have really nice high notes, be very pleasurable to eat throughout, but it's not going to be dominant in one flavor or another. They're going to balance each other out. And I'm just going to taste a little bit here. And ceviche is just one of those foods that's really, really enjoyable, and it's one of those you can make ahead too, so it's a great party food and something that reminds me of summer even in those cold winter months. I hope you really like this recipe and hope you consider making some delicious raw fish ceviche at home.
This video is a Fort Pitch production in conjunction with Midwest Digital AV Incorporated. Midwest Digital AV Incorporated provides audio, video, streaming, and production services throughout the Midwest. Please visit them at midwestdigitalcorp.com.